Today is gonna be a little bit different. No background music, no edits, just some Minecraft gameplay and my honest thoughts. Of course, partially scripted because, as you can probably hear, I'm not English and coming up with my ideas and putting them into words is difficult for me in English. I'll be real with you. There are days when I turn off my console and immediately regret how much time I spent playing. And I know I can't be the only one. So let's talk about why that guilt exists and how to actually enjoy gaming again, without feeling like we're wasting time. If you're like me, you sit down to play a game after a long day only to feel this weird guilt. This feeling that you should be doing something more productive. It's strange because if you weren't doing this, you would probably be watching a TV show or doom scrolling social media for some hours. I think society drills into us that every second needs to be useful, and since gaming isn't tied to work or self-improvement in the traditional sense, it gets unfairly labeled as a time sink. But if gaming makes me happy, if it makes you happy, why should you feel guilty about it? And maybe you just feel like you're playing a game wrong just because you're not min-maxing every stat or grinding for the best gear. It's wild how, even in something meant for fun, there's this unspoken pressure to be as efficient as possible. And in a way, YouTube plays a part in this too. Seeing every little thing, speedrunning or pulling off insane strategies, suddenly your casual playthroughs feel inadequate. And I'm not saying that this is wrong. Games are meant to be played however you enjoy them. Whether you're a completionist, a speed demon, or just someone who likes to wander around and take in the world. There's no right way to play. Games are supposed to be an escape, not another thing to measure yourself against. There's a big difference between gaming being a problem and gaming just being a hobby you love. Obviously, if you're missing work, skipping important life stuff or feeling like you have to play even when you don't want to, yeah, this can become an issue. But if you're like me and just want to unwind after a long day or spending weekends diving into a game you enjoy, then it's completely fine. Setting boundaries like making sure real-life priorities come first does not mean gaming has to feel like a guilty pleasure. It's all about knowing when to put the controller down and when to let yourself enjoy the escape. Finishing a gaming session shouldn't feel like you just wasted time. It should feel like you did something enjoyable, just like watching a movie or reading a book. This guilt sneaks in when you've been told over and over again that gaming is unproductive or a waste of time. So the trick to break this cycle is reframing your mindset. If it helps you relax even just a little bit, then it's serving a purpose. And instead of feeling bad about the time you spent, focus on what you got out of it. Once you stop treating gaming like something you have to justify, the guilt fades away. Minecraft is a perfect example of a game where fun is entirely up to you. There is no right way to play. It's a sandbox where creativity and exploration take center stage. Some players sink hours into massive builds, constructing entire cities block by block, while others just roam the landscape, mining and crafting at their own pace. And yet, despite this freedom, many players still feel the pressure to be productive. Whether it's optimizing farms, speedrunning, or following the latest trends. But Minecraft isn't about efficiency. It's about your expression. Whether you spend hours perfecting a castle or just wander around aimlessly, it all has value. The game doesn't judge you and neither should you yourself. And I think the social media of today has a unique way of intensifying this guilt. Often by presenting an unrealistic version of what gaming should look like. When scrolling through platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, you'll often see influencers or friends showcasing their gaming accomplishments. It's easy to get sucked into comparing your gaming experience with theirs, especially when you feel like you haven't played as much or achieved the same level of progress. And this can lead to feelings of inadequacy or guilt, as if you're not playing the right way or putting in enough time. Here's the thing, social media doesn't show the full picture. It's curated, selective, and often paints a picture of perfection that isn't necessarily reflective of real gaming experience. So it's very important to focus on your own journey, on what you enjoy. If you're taking your time with a game or playing at a casual pace, that's perfectly fine. Social media can amplify the guilt, but only if you let it. Reclaiming time spent on games starts with shifting the perspective on what counts as valuable or productive. And just because you're not directly producing something doesn't mean you're not gaining value from the experience. Start with celebrating the small accomplishments like completing a difficult level, instead of viewing your gaming time as something you need to justify. Embrace it as a legitimate way to unwind, enjoy your passions, and enhance your life in ways that are unique to you. Gaming can also have a surprisingly positive impact on your mental health. For many, gaming provides a much-needed escape, a way to disconnect from the stress and anxieties of everyday life. It can help lift your mood and create a sense of mental relief. In a way, you could say it's a form of self-care. And the feeling of progress in a game can be especially uplifting for people who might struggle with other aspects in their life. And for these people, most of the time, it's their only social component. Many games foster a community and create a space where people can connect. For individuals who experience loneliness or isolation, online gaming can be a resource of connection and a place to feel understood that they simply don't have in their day-to-day life. In conclusion, the guilt often associated with gaming is rooted in social pressure and outdated views on productivity and leisure. However, as we've seen, gaming can offer numerous benefits, from providing a much-needed escape and mental relief to fostering personal achievement and social connections. The key to overcoming gaming guilt is recognizing that it's a valid form of entertainment, just like any other hobby. Ultimately, if gaming brings you joy, it's not something to feel guilty about.